this thing on? What is good, YouTube? Kyle here from Wrestling with Fans, and it's been a while, and I've got a lot to catch everyone up on and some things that I will not get into. First off, let's get some of the serious stuff out of the way. I'm sorry I left you guys high and dry without any information about what was going on and kind of been silent for the last month and a half here on YouTube and on the podcast. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes, not related to the podcast. I just tried to take on too much. I thought I could handle it all, and I was wrong. Now, I'm trying to figure out what to do, where to go with the channel and the podcast. And honestly, there's been times where I've thought about just completely giving it up, deleting the channel, deleting the podcast, all of that stuff, just getting rid of all of it. However, WrestlingWithFans.com is paid for through the spring, so I still have about 6 or 7 months left on the server fees. So I decided maybe we'll do something else with the channel. The only thing I can tell you for certain is the live streaming schedule. I will not be able to live stream as I once did here on the Wrestling with Fans YouTube channel. Realistically, only have about 2.5 hours each evening to myself to do stuff here around the house, to spend time with Jen, do other things, anything else I'd like to do. So it doesn't really leave a lot of time for podcasting and for YouTube. Plus, the other reason I've kind of been quiet is wrestling isn't fun. I just seriously lost interest in watching professional wrestling. WWE in the last couple years has been bad. It has not been entertaining. It has been very repetitive. And I just seriously lost interest. It felt like a chore to force myself to watch WWE and even AEW and NXT. I just couldn't get into it. And I did not watch wrestling for a good 6 or 7 weeks, save for two things, which I'll talk about here in a minute. The first is SummerSlam. I hadn't watched WWE since the end of June or July, end of July through SummerSlam. So about a month leading into SummerSlam, I didn't watch. I just didn't care. I just wasn't interested. They didn't hook me on anything. And I did watch SummerSlam, and it was okay. It was an okay show. I mean, Becky's return was cool, but not at the expense of Bianca Belair. That I did not like. Edge and Seth was probably the highlight of the whole show for me. Roman and Cena was pretty good as well. And, I just got so disillusioned with the WWE product. Like I said, I even quit watching NXT, which for the longest time, for me personally, was the best wrestling show on television. And I just couldn't force myself to sit down and watch. Even before my 4:15 alarm started going off, I just didn't feel like watching. Like wrestling it wasn't fun. I was really burnt out trying to take on everything I did, and then the wrestling product wasn't good. It was a very, very bad mix for me. I didn't feel like doing the podcast. I didn't feel like doing this YouTube channel. The whole thing with KC Toys ending, and then wrestling just being bad. It was just a lot. And after doing this for 3 years on the podcast side and for a year straight on the YouTube side, I just kind of burnt out and pretty much just crashed. Again, like I said, I didn't watch any wrestling. I followed it a little bit through posts on social media, things like that. And even, with my disillusion of WWE, I tried watching AEW and I just couldn't get into it. Now, when I saw CM Punk's return a couple weeks ago, man, I got goosebumps. My goosebumps got goosebumps. The pop that he got, man, that's right there. It's like, man, that's wrestling. That was cool to see. But it wasn't enough to really hook me. However, that changed. That changed this past weekend. Now, AEW had their All Out pay-per-view this past Sunday. And All Out made me love professional wrestling again. That one event made me love professional wrestling again. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to turn into a hardcore AEW mark. I'm a WWE guy since 1984, 1985, something around then. I was only a couple years old when I started watching wrestling. But, man, just watching that show, that to me is what professional wrestling is about. The Young Bucks and Lucha Bros. Such a fun match. Again, I say it all the time when I talk to AEW here on the show. I'm not a big fan of the whole no selling, but man, that was a fun match to watch. Such a fun match to watch. Seeing Ruby Soho, the former Ruby Riott, show up at the Casino Battle Royal was so awesome. Even though I don't like the Casino Battle Royal format, I think it is just a cluttered mess, and I wish they changed that. But, it is what it is. Just seeing Ruby come out and make her AEW debut was really cool. Jericho and MJF, such a fun match with like the dusty finish. I loved it. I thought it was great. It did exactly what it needed to do. And then seeing CM Punk, hearing it's clobbering time during his entrance, Cult of Personality, blaring through the arena, the crowd screaming at the top of their lungs, singing the lyrics, man, that was good. I mean, the match wasn't great, but it did what it needed to do. I mean, Punk's got a lot of ring rust after being, out of the ring for, 7+ years. It was cool to watch. And, and Omega and Christian in the main event, it's a fun match. I really enjoyed it. And I've been critical of Kenny Omega at times, but, I really enjoyed the match. And then everything afterwards, with, Adam Cole, Bay is All Elite. Man, that was just amazing. And, joining the Elite, like he's back. He's been resurrected. For those of you who've ever watched, Being the Elite, that whole story going back 4 years when he was seemingly killed off before going to sign with NXT. He was just resurrected on Monday's edition of Being the Elite. So it was a lot of fun and seeing him there, knowing he's going to be with like-minded people, his friends. And he's going to be in a place where he's going to be able to continue to do what he does best. And, of course, to top it all off, Bryan Danielson, hearing Flight of the Valkyrie come over the arena, and the crowd just exploded in yes chants. Man, that was fun. Again, I just got goosebumps. Just a lot of goosebumps, man. It made me feel good to watch wrestling again. And I'm not going to turn this into like an all-out review because I'm sure they've been done to death at this point. But after watching, man, I got inspired. I got inspired to want to watch wrestling again. I got inspired to make wrestling YouTube content. I got inspired to do wrestling podcasts again. Like I said, I'm not turning into a hardcore AEW mark. I mean, I'm still going to try to diversify my wrestling content, but I just want to thank AEW and Tony Khan for putting on an amazing show and inspire me and helping me find my love of professional wrestling once again. But, now that I've talked about, All Out, kind of how my life is going at the moment with limited time doing things, I still want to make content. I miss making videos. I miss recording podcasts. I miss having that creative aspect in my life. And it's something I've really been missing for the last month and a half. So, again, I won't be able to live stream. I really enjoy doing the Tuesdays and Thursdays live streams. But again, with my limited time, I can't do live streams. So I won't really have a streaming schedule per se. However, if there's like a holiday and I get a day off, or maybe on a weekend, if there's something really big I want to talk about, and I've got the time, I'm going to do a live stream. I can't guarantee a time or a day. They're just going to be completely sporadic, completely random. So the only thing I can say is just a cheap plug, follow Wrestling with Fans on Facebook. Give us a big old like. Follow us on Instagram. Links to Instagram and the Facebook page will be down in the video description below. So make sure you follow us on there if you haven't already, because that's where I'm going to promote anytime I do a live stream here on the channel. As far as regular videos go, just making regular video content again. Don't really want to get back into the wrestling toy hunt. However, I still want to talk about wrestling figures. So the wrestling figure videos always did well here on the channel. I know that's probably a reason a lot of you were brought on board before I started doing the live streaming. So I do want to get back into wrestling figure content. But I can't really do a lot of toy buying right now, and I can't, do a lot of the fig hunt videos, things like that. However, if there's wrestling figure news or reveals, I'm going to try to make a video about it as soon as I possibly can. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe doing figure reviews of stuff I've already opened, maybe talking about a certain line or a certain wrestler with all their figures that I have, things like that. The other thing I do is, here's where I'm going to turn to you guys, the Wrestling with Fans audience, the Wrestling with Fans universe, as WWE would put it. I want to know what kind of content you guys want to see from me. Like I said, I've done a lot of different things. I've done ranking videos. I've done figure hunts, figure unboxings. Obviously the live streams. I've done a couple game nights here on the channel. What kind of stuff do you want to see? news recaps, toy stuff, retro reviews where I review like an old pay-per-view or Monday Night Raw or Nitro or something along those lines, or anything like that. Fantasy booking, anything like that. Like what kind of stuff do you want to see from me? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to get you guys input. So, because I know what kind of content I like to make, but I don't know what all the kind of content that you guys want to see from me. So let me know in the comments what kind of stuff you want to see from the channel. Now, won't be able to make every single type of video, but I'm going to do my best to give you guys good quality content on a regular basis. Now, the videos I'm going to try to do, I'm trying to do one video per week. So every week here on the Wrestling with Fans YouTube channel, you will get a brand new video, one guaranteed weekly video. They will probably post on like a Sunday, so that way I have part of the weekend to work on these and throughout the week in my limited time. But yeah, again, I just want to know what kind of content you guys want to see. Now, as far as the audio podcast goes, for the last 8 or 9 months, I've used my live streams, either one live stream or a mix of several, to put together for the Wrestling with Fans podcast, the audio show. Now, again, with the limited time, I can't do the live streams to count on that. I'm going to have to come up with something interesting. A new way to do audio shows on top of one video per week. More than likely, the audio show will come out on a Monday. That way I have the entire week, Monday through Sunday to work on the audio show. And I'll drop the podcast on Mondays. Weekend releases on podcasts don't normally do very well, but during the week, they always seem to do well. So we'll probably shoot for Mondays for audio shows. And I'm going to do something a little different with the audio shows going forward. What I will probably do is, instead of just kind of talking about everything that week like I had been doing with the live streams, it's going to be a good mix. One episode I might do like a news recap. If there's a lot of big news going on, I may record audio sections throughout the week, put it all together for, a recap at the end of the week for the podcast. I'll probably do like reviews of old pay-per-views, and I've had some requests that I've still got to get to from a couple months ago. Watch along style, the audio version for the watch along. I still would love to do a video version where I can have the pay-per-view playing over here and me sitting here doing custom commentary for it, but I still haven't quite figured that out, how to make that where I can release it to YouTube or something else like that. I have a Patreon. I could just make it under a free tier. All you got to do is just follow us on Patreon. You get it all for free, and you get the video too. So I'll work on that part. The other thing I want to do is like fun, what we used to call bonus shows. For those of you who followed the show for a while, my original co-host Bobby and I did a fantasy WWE Survivor for the TV show Survivor. Survivor's coming back for season 41 here in just a couple weeks. 1 week, 2 weeks, something like that. It's coming back soon. That Survivor episode did really well for us in the audio numbers. So I'd love to do more of those. Do another 1, 2, 10. Just fantasy book the show Survivor with WWE, maybe even AEW stars. Do fun stuff like that. Again, they were really popular for the audio numbers. So I'd like to do some more fun content, something that you guys would like to hear. Now I do have some stuff in the can. For those who don't know what that is, some stuff that I've already recorded that is just kind of sitting on a hard drive right now, not doing anything. I do have some figure unboxing videos that are Wrestling with Fans recorded before KC Toys started. I'm going to work on trying to get that stuff edited and start posting some of that stuff just to get content out there to start getting eyes back on the channel. And I have a couple audio shows that have been saved up for a while, like the bonus shows, like reviews and things like that. So I'm going to start releasing those until I get back into the swing of things, starting to find my groove again here on YouTube and here in the podcasting world. But that'll start next Monday. The first audio show in almost 2 months will be released next Monday. I'll probably drop it at like 6 a.m. like I did before, nice and early, so you can start your weekend off right with Wrestling with Fans audio shows. And then next Sunday will be the first video drop. I don't know what that video will be at this point, but the videos will probably drop on Sundays, and the audio podcasts are going to drop on Monday. So Sunday, Monday for your Wrestling with Fans fix for video and audio content. And then again, as things settle, I might have time to do more, but I'm not going to guarantee anything. I just want to get back into the groove of making content in video form and audio form. Something that I love to do. And again, thanks to Tony Khan and AEW for helping me find that love of pro wrestling again. It was a really fun show, and I'm looking forward to Wednesday night. Even though I'll only be able to watch the first part, and I'll have to watch the rest on Thursday when I get home. That's the other problem, just watching and all. But again, guys, just if you stuck around this long in the video, give me a thumbs up. That you support Wrestling with Fans, that you support me in this journey here on YouTube. I know what the future of Wrestling with Fans hold. And I hope you all forgive me and stick along this journey with me here on YouTube. But until next time, thank you all for watching. Once again, my name is Kyle. This is a Wrestling with Fans, and I'll see you guys in the next video.